The Cullen house sits too quiet tonight. There's an unnatural stillness hanging over everything, like the heavy air before a storm breaks. Inside, I can feel it, the thick electric sense of something lurking just beyond our sight, a darkness pressing in on us. Jasper paces by the windows, his sharp gaze fixed on the tree line. Edward stands beside him, face taut, his eyes scanning the shadows. No one speaks, but we're all feeling it, like a weight that won't lift. Carlisle finally breaks the silence, calling us into the living room. His voice is calm, steady, but there's an edge to it I rarely hear. He's always the one to reassure us, to keep our family grounded. But tonight he doesn't have answers, and that terrifies me more than anything. Esme clutches his hand tightly, her usual gentle smile replaced by a worried frown. We're all on edge, trying to prepare for something, a threat we can't see. He tells us to stay alert, to be ready for whatever might come, but he doesn't have to say it. We all know this is unlike anything we've ever faced before. I can feel it deep in my bones. And in that moment, as I look around at my family, I realize the horrifying truth. We may not survive this without help. It's a thought that chills me to the core, and yet I can't ignore it. There's someone out there who could help us, someone far older and more powerful than any of us. Bella. But even thinking of her brings a swirl of conflicting emotions. Bella is complicated. She's an ancient creature, one who's walked the earth since before humans understood what it meant to fear the dark. Her power is unparalleled, but it comes at a cost. She loathes mortals, detests vampires, sees them as beneath her. The only person she tolerates, the only one she's ever cared for, is me. Our connection is an ancient one, forged from something deeper than loyalty or love. Bella is my protector, my shield, but summoning her means upsetting a balance we've all carefully maintained. She lives in seclusion for a reason. Her rage, her hatred, and her disdain for anyone beyond her circle of loyalty make her dangerous, but I know that without her, we don't stand a chance. I slip out of the house quietly, hoping the others won't notice. I can't explain this to them. They wouldn't understand why I need her, why I'm willing to risk everything by calling on her. The forest is dark, shadows stretching long and deep under the silver moonlight. I follow a narrow path through the trees, each step pulling me closer to the ancient power that I can feel thrumming in the distance. The air grows colder as I go, and soon I feel the familiar, cold pulse of her presence, like frost settling on my skin. I've walked this path before, but tonight it feels different. Tonight I'm not just seeking her out for myself. I'm bringing my family's survival into her world, a world where she cares only for me. The forest opens up to a small clearing, and for a moment, I feel like I've stepped back in time. The air is thick, almost tangible with her energy, a power that seems to coil and slither around me, watching, waiting. I swallow, my voice catching in my throat. Despite everything, the thought of confronting her fills me with a strange mix of fear and excitement. I call out softly, barely more than a whisper. Bella, it's me. I need you. The silence stretches on, the forest holding its breath. I begin to wonder if she's even here, or if she's simply ignoring me, punishing me for disturbing her. But then, I feel it, a shift in the air, a weight pressing down on me. And then she steps out of the shadows, as if the darkness itself has taken form. Bella stands tall and fierce, her form barely visible against the black of the trees, her eyes glowing with an unnatural intensity. Those eyes, two molten coals burning with the ancient power that runs through her veins, fix on me, and for a moment I can't breathe. She's always been beautiful in a way that defies reason, but tonight, she's terrifying. Rosalie, she says, her voice as cold and sharp as ice cracking underfoot. Why have you summoned me? I take a deep breath, trying to steady myself under her gaze. There's something coming, I say, forcing the words out. Something powerful. It's closing in on us, and we can't face it alone. She tilts her head, studying me with that piercing, unreadable gaze. Bella's face is carved from stone, each line hard and unforgiving, and yet there's a softness there, just for me. I've always been her one exception, the one person she would cross worlds to protect. And now I'm calling on that loyalty, asking more than I ever have. You know I despise them, she says, her voice a low growl. Your family, your kind, vampires. I nod, swallowing hard. I know, but this is beyond us, Bella. I don't know what it is, but we're out of options. She's silent, her gaze locked on me, as if she's searching for something in my face. I can feel her weighing my words, considering the cost of what I'm asking. There's a part of me that wonders if she'll turn away, if she'll disappear into the shadows and leave us to face whatever's coming alone. But then she lets out a sigh, a sound more like a hiss, a reluctant acceptance. For you, Rosalie, she murmurs, her voice softening, the edge of ice melting just slightly. Only for you. She steps closer and her presence is overwhelming, filling the small clearing with a cold, thrumming energy that presses against me from all sides. Her eyes never leave mine, and in that moment, I know she's made her choice. She may hate everyone else, but her loyalty to me is unbreakable. Tell me about this threat, she says, her tone all business now, but there's a spark of something warmer in her gaze. What am I dealing with? I explain everything I know, the sense of dread, the silence that has settled over the house, the feeling that something powerful and malevolent is closing in on us. She listens without interrupting, her face impassive, but I can see her mind working, calculating. When I finish, she nods, her expression hardening. I will protect you, she says, her voice a low, dangerous promise. But don't ask me to care about the others. My loyalty is to you alone. I nod, accepting her terms. I knew this would be her answer, but just hearing it sends a thrill of relief through me. I've always known that I could count on her, even if no one else understands the bond we share. As we walk back through the forest, side by side, I can feel her tension, the barely contained power thrumming beneath her skin. I know the others will be wary of her, but I also know that she's the only chance we have. Whatever darkness is coming for us, Bella will meet it head-on, unflinching, and she will do it for me. We step out of the woods and approach the house, the lights casting a warm glow over the trees. The others are waiting, and as they see us approach, I can see the mixture of relief and apprehension in their eyes. They don't know what Bella is, or why she's here, but they can sense her power, her ancient, unyielding presence. As we reach the porch, Bella stops, her gaze sweeping over them with a look of disdain. But then she glances at me, her expression softening for just a moment. Remember, Rosalie, she says, her voice low, I'm here for you, no one else. I nod, grateful and a little humbled. I know that whatever lies ahead, I have a fierce protector by my side, one who will do anything to keep me safe. And for now, that's enough.